to the masses. It predominantly is going to be a true crime channel, but I want to cover all true crime, not just the Italian Mafia, not just the mob. I want to cover all nationalities, all crimes, current, past cases, true crime in general. That's first and foremost. But at the same time, I want it to be a channel about positivity and growth, make an impact on people, to help them make decisions. Share my experiences, share whoever I bring on the podcast as a guest, share their experiences, and maybe it can help them make a better life for themselves and make a good decision, you know? That's basically it. You want to grow the channel. You want to, you know, see where it takes us. Well, you know what? The reason why I'm doing this, I don't know why. I'm just doing it. I've had people for years come to me and want to write a book. Right. They wanted me to do a docuseries. They wanted me to do this, do that. They thought I had a great story. I just got out of jail again. They think it's even a better time to do something. I really don't know why I'm doing it. All I know is that I'm just doing it. And we'll see what happens.
Well, there's a lot of information on the internet about you, Frank.
Well, that too. Like, you know, what bothers me too is there's a lot of information through the years that's incorrect. A lot of salacious reporting from reporters trying to make careers. A lot of people saying stuff, a lot of things. And first and foremost, I want to get that out of the way. And also, too, you never know what doors it opens up, you know. And if I can help, you know, if you impact one person or if you make a difference, you know, it's all good, you know.
Consider yourself blessed.
Not into it for the money. Yeah. Not into it for, you know, what most of these podcasts go into it for. And just organically try to grow something.
Yeah, helping people would be a key factor.
Yeah, I mean,
to growing it. I think.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not all that. You want to run a business too,
right?
You know, so you got to have the right people to do this with. You know, like I said, we got Michael Giantonio, Summerstar Studios. I got good friends and family. Got a big support system.
Yes.
So I'm not doing it alone. And everybody's got to be on the same page, and everybody's got to have the same mission statement. Mm-hmm. So the mission statement is, nobody knows what it is. I'm doing it. See what happens.
Try to have fun.
I tell you what, though, we're going to keep doing it.
Yep.
We ain't going nowhere. Yeah. The studio, the people, everybody's in-house. Nobody's going nowhere. So we're never going to have a situation where we can't do it. You know, it's just a matter of, it's up to the audience and the people out there if they want to support our cause. We'll just keep growing. What I can't get away from is, believe me, people that know me, just met me, or whatever it is, they all want to know about my past.
Right.
I get asked every day. And I can't get away from it.
Right.
So I want to start with that. Right. So we'll start with where I grew up, how I grew up, and then we'll take it from there. Basically, everybody knows I'm from an area called Little Italy in Manhattan. You know that.
Yep.
I was born on, I lived on Lafayette Street between Prince and Spring. It was right around the corner from the Ravenite Social Club. You know what that was?
Yes.
And back then, growing up, I used to walk to school, St. Patrick's Old Cathedral. It was on Mott Street. Prince and Mott was the school, but then the church is still there. It's on Mott Street between Prince and Houston. And then there's a couple of covenants in the cemetery around there and stuff like that. But pretty much that's where I grew up. I was to walk from Lafayette Street to school and back.
And you also went to a Catholic grammar school as well, right?
Very strict Roman Catholic school.
What was the name of that?
St. Patrick's Old Cathedral.
St. Patrick's Old Cathedral.
And back then, the priests and the nuns could never get away with it today. Back then, they used to put hands on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they would crack you, you know, discipline.
Yep.
Brutal stuff. Like,
yep.
You know, kneel on a piece of chalk for, you know, to put chalk on the floor. Kneel on the chalk with your hands up in the air and stay like that. Write your name out 1,000 times. Put your hands on, I'm going to smack you with a ruler.
Yep.
Bend over with the paddleboard, you know, or just open hand crack you, you know. So that was the way it was back then.
Different life, yeah.
Well, you know that.
Yeah,
same
I went
thing.
to Catholic grammar school, yeah. We had some torturous nuns. Sister St. Dominic had a cane, and she didn't need it. She used it to whack kids in the shins.
I'll tell you a quick story why they stopped hitting me. I never forget, I was 8 years old. And in the schoolyard, they had a line, boys on one side, girls on the other. So they would give a bell, they would ring a bell, but they would ring it like 3 times. So one ring was like, okay, you got 5 more minutes. No, like 15-minute increments. Then the next one, but then when they rang it continuously, that means stop.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the rule is you can't get caught crossing the line because they want to separate. Well, me, I like this girl. I used to flirt with her. I
Yeah.
get caught on the girl side. And this priest open-handed me like a cold clock.
Yeah.
Boom. Left his handprint on my face. I'm an 8-year-old kid. Fall down to the wall. I'm just in shock. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like whimpering. I'm like deathly scared of this guy. 2:30, school gets out. I'm walking home. My uncle, may rest in peace. I'll get into him later on. He says, "What happened to your face? You get into a fight?" I said, "No, the priest hit me." He said, "Come on, let's go back to the school." So we go back to the school. And all the moms and everybody used to wait for the kids to come out of the school. And it was this one big staircase. So everybody came down and you were greeted with your parents. So all the mothers are around, kids are going around, it's busy. They're still letting out of school. I look, he says, "Which one hit you?" I said, "That one right there." He was at the top of the staircase trying to shake down the moms for church envelopes. Because, the Catholic Church, it was cheap tuition, but they always wanted a donation.
Yeah. And
always.
Sunday.
Right? Yeah. Talking like a disser. Right? So my uncle walks over, grabs him by the shirt and collar, cracks him. Boom.
Nice.
Knocks him down the steps. Right? Everybody's like, "Oh," right?
Yeah.
Runs down, steps over him. Says, "You touch my family again, you're going to be in Chapel B." And I don't want to curse on the channel, but there's a lot of curse words. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, what the,"
Yeah. What's going on?
So we were like the devil family. That Gioia kid, he can't come back here. He's expelled. He's this, he's that, and everything else. My old man said, "Is anybody going to graduate in this family?" Like you had to hit the priest. So I remember my father went back there, and he said, "I'd like to make a donation." And the priest, the head nun, the principal, everybody was there. They're going, "No, no." Right? So, look, I'm going to put money on the table, and I'm going to walk out. All right? You make a decision. Take the donation. My son stays in the school, and the priest goes to another parish. So I don't know what he put on the table. I think it was 5,000, maybe. Could have been $1,000, could have been $5,000.
Right.
I knew it was a stack of bills, right? And back then it was big money.
Yeah.
Even today it would be big money. They said, "Give us a minute." We walk outside, come back. They said, "We accepted your donation." So the priest gets transferred to another parish. I get let back in the school. Right?
Wow.
Not a finger. They wouldn't even look at me the wrong way.
Of course.
So I'm doing the same exact thing next to another kid. Another kid's doing spitballs at somebody. I'm doing the same exact thing. He's getting cracked, right in front of me, and they left me alone because they knew.
Yeah.
They said, don't touch the Gioia kid no more because, the uncle's going to come here or we accepted or whatever.
Yeah.
But today, you can't do that today.
No, nothing like that exists.
So
Well, first of all, a priest would never touch you today.
Right.
I won't go there. But anyway.
I never, thank God, I never got
going there.
Yeah. That never happened to me. But
me either.
Yeah.
I didn't know any priests like that. All the fathers, if you will.
You hear these stories today. Yeah. It's sickening.
God, yeah. Frightening.
So that happened. So I was good in school for the most part. And just growing up in the neighborhood. Neighborhood was really a good neighborhood back then. Italian American. It's one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city. All Italian Americans. They all looked out for each other. I mean, it was infested with the mob. There was a mob. All the 5 families were there.
It's not called Little Italy for nothing, right?
It's connected to Chinatown. And back then, you had a lot of big names back then. Yeah. You had the Ravenite Club, you had Prince Street, you had Spring Street, there was skippers, bosses, underbosses, concierges, made guys all over the place.
Well, a lot of people used to report in to Little Italy, if what I remember. I know my uncle used to have to go up for meetings all the time. Little Italy was the hub for all the families at one point when I was young.
You're right. Well, I think even back in the day with Luciano and, the original guys, they all were based out of there.
Right.
Going back in, 40s, 30s, whatever it was, 50s.
That long history of mafia out of that area.
Yeah. That was connected to Chinatown, so you had that. Connected to a Jewish neighborhood, Delancey Street.
Yep.
You know, and growing up there, it was a real neighborhood back then. You could go. We didn't have there was no clocks. There was no cell phones, no nothing. So what happened? You go out, you're playing all day and night, and you had to be home by the time the lights went out.
Right.
The lamppost in the street. But when the lights went on, you better be home by then.
Yep.
You know.
Supper time, man.
Yeah.
It was back then. You sat with your family and ate supper. There was
And
no denying that.
Sunday, you could smell all the gravy.
Miss that smell, man.
You call it gravy or sauce?
We called it gravy.
Yeah, me too.
My nana used to call it gravy because she put a lot of meat in it, and I believe the meat makes it gravy. That's just my contention. But when you make sauce, it's a marinara sauce, which means just tomatoes and some seasoning. But I think a gravy becomes a gravy with all the meats in it. You know, the pork, the ribs, the whole smash, meatballs, etc.
That's another thing I want to do on the channel is cook.
I agree.
We're gonna make a nice gravy.
I'm a frustrated chef. I know you're a pretty good chef from what I've seen.
I could eat. You know, I love. Some people eat to live. I live to eat. You know,
most men in the Italian families are the main cooks. And what I remember, my grandfather cooked more than my grandmother sometimes. But my nana, which was my mom's mom, she cooked. There was nobody I met in my life that can cook like that lady.
So we got some friends out here that are celebrity chefs. You see them on the Food Network.
Yep.
They got restaurants out here. They already gave us an invite to go there to eat, and they'll sit with us and make us something. And then I asked one if they would give me a cooking lesson.
That'd be a great show.
It'd be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I want to start getting into food, do some cooking. I even got a friend of mine. Well, the studio actually said, "Hey, would you be interested in going ghost hunting?" Never thought of
That'd
that.
be a blast.
Like, in other words, we sit down and we.
Yeah, I think we actually have to do that.
But it's like paranormal. I can't go out of state because I'm still on supervised release.
Right.
He said, no, it's a part of Arizona. You go up to where it's known to be like a paranormal area.
Is that Jerome or something up there?
I think it's
probably a couple of areas of what I hear. I know there's
northern Arizona. I think it's Wickenburg, I think.
Oh, you got like Cleator up there that's pretty haunted.
What's the name of it?
Cleator. They got a bunch of skinwalkers.
How far is that?
That's about 75 miles or so out of Phoenix. Not very far.
I'm assuming we got to go at night.
Or overnight.
Overnight.
Well, don't you have
reading a lot, looking at a lot of things, you know, talking to a lot of pros in this business. And everybody said, hands down, your first podcast is going to suck.